Hello, it's me, Ira, and welcome to a new episode of my Story Behind the Picture series. And this story is gonna be the story about my grandma's country house, which I guess has so much to do with who I am now and what I would like to have. Because only when I see it, I haven't been thinking about this country house at all for many years. Yes, I'm now crazy about, obsessed by the idea of getting my own house somewhere outside the hustle and bustle. But I have never been thinking of the reasons why. And today, making this video, I thought about the feelings behind this picture, and it suddenly came to my mind that this is the source. This is the reason why I'm so crazy. So this is my grandma's country house. My grandma and grandfather no longer live there. Yeah, they passed away. And but still, this is the place that I do remember. And every single piece of the land around, and the plot of land is quite large, is connected with the memories from my childhood, because I used to spend many summers in this country house. In fact, all my summers. Here we planted potatoes, wheat, barley, and things like that, maybe even beetroot. And there, the kitchen garden, you can see that, you cannot see it actually. Here is the flower bed, and there are some flower beds on the side. And these are the apple trees, many apple trees. These are the plum trees, black plum and blue plum trees. Oh my. And this is the well. And yes, it's different from the well I showed you in the previous video. Sorry, I'm still not quite well. And it has this rolling mechanism, but with the same metallic chain and with the same metallic bucket. I will show it in one of, probably, yes, here it is. You can see, this is how it looks. It looks like this in my country house. Here is the lid that you cover this one, this hole, and use it like that. So this is the country house. I spent so many wonderful summers, and my father was a military man. Okay, this is wheat that we grew here, yes. And when I was just a young girl or even a teenager, I was taught how to, I just don't remember this English word for sky, what, to really harvest the wheat and harvest the barley and some other plants, grasses, using this specific moon-shaped tool, cutting tool, making then bunches of that. And yes, we called them snop. It's a bunch of wheat or a bunch of wheat that is bound together in order to be then picked up and processed. And yes, I remember doing that now. Yeah, I did it myself. I know how to do that. If something comes to my way where I have to harvest some plants like that, that will be probably not so big a problem for me. Probably sky, I just don't remember that. This was just has come up right now, and that's why I haven't looked it up in the dictionary, because normally I do. Before I make a video, I think of a plan, and I try to watch the necessary words that may come up during the process. I try to look them up in the dictionary, but not this time. Okay, I even didn't think about that. No idea. Yeah. Anyway, okay, sounds like quite a very useful childhood. So yes, definitely this one doesn't match the color, but yes, it matches. We have some shade of orange here and the shade of white. This one is for the darker shades, you see. Yeah, it corresponds to darker shades. And the general picture background somehow matches the shades of color of brown color on the house. But actually the house itself looks more gray. You can see, no, you cannot see it here. Okay, it's something like that. I mean, this is not my house, my country house, but the color, the natural color is like this. It's like pure wood. And so actually this is almost the only house lived in. Now it is not lived in. Nobody lives there. Only my relatives, my aunts and uncles come there from time to time, but not all the time. And we have only one more house just here, the house of our neighbors, where a very old lady lives with her a little bit younger daughter, and that's it. And then this part of the village is completely deserted. And so this house is really can be considered as a deserted house, or the house which is quite really far from the main road, and they don't have the highway, they don't have the road to this village. The road is mainly a country road, you know, which is with no gravel, with just sand and dust and mud. So in summer when we went there, it was very dusty, and in rain seasons it was absolutely muddy, and the cars could hardly go through the road, along the road. But still, oh, I like it so much. And now when I look at it now, I feel that I used to feel it's alien. I don't need it. Like, you know, I grew up and it belongs to one of my relatives, and she's definitely not going to sell it. Maybe not to sell, but to gift it to anyone. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he will come and live here, who knows, and sells his flat in the city. But anyway, it's not mine, and I have no chances to get it. But I feel that, you know, now I know what to do with it. Now I know what to do with this land to make it beautiful. It already has a lot of trees around, a lot of woods, and there is a marsh just behind the house. The house is on the hill, and there is a marsh or bog, what I don't know how to call it, just there in the vale. And then after that, and then maybe 1 kilometer from here, or even less, yeah, about 1 kilometer, 500 to 900 meters from this house, there is a big woodland. Yes, and I remember going there, picking mushrooms, picking berries, raspberries, blueberries. Okay, and what that was, that forest was really, and is still really kind of mystical forest for me, because I was really afraid to go there alone. It's quite thick, and nowadays it's overgrown absolutely. Very few people go there because the majority of people in the village are dead already. Almost nobody lives there, apart from some city dwellers who come here for summer or for 1 month in summer, and that's it. And some natives here, aborigines, but they're very few. They're very few and old, and the village is dying out, as many villages around have already vanished, because this region was quite densely populated. Now it's not. And so, as for the woodland and the woods behind this house, actually, when I started doing my meditations, one of the images, with that imagining or fancying a thick wood that you are supposed to enter, to go through and come back, and having some rites, making some rituals, and coming back with the new understanding of this at that point. It was exactly this wood. I fancied all the time. I fancied exactly this woodland or this forest. I don't know why. Maybe because there was a very beautiful meadow, and it's still there. Like, the opening in the forest. When you have the forest, and then immediately it ends, and you have a meadow in the middle of this forest, and then on the other, like a small lake of grass. And it usually gets flooded in wet seasons. And maybe it's over flooded now, absolutely, and it's a bog now, probably because there are a lot of wild animals around, and they cause a lot of harm nowadays to the woodlands, making bugs from them. But then after this meadow, behind this meadow, there was the small hill overgrown by forest, and then the forest starts again. So you can see this opening, which is always sunny, which is always beautiful, and that is my place nowadays. And I haven't been there for maybe 10 years already, in that forest, physically, I mean. So the house, I was there last year with just to visit, just for an hour and a half visit, and that's it. And I don't feel at home there. I don't feel comfortable there. Maybe I haven't felt. Maybe now, as I see it differently. I see it as a place not to take, but to give, to make it beautiful. But as it doesn't belong to me, I think I can do nothing to that place. And that's it. And this used to be a small pond in wet seasons, and overgrown with weeds and with small plants, and there used to be a lot of living beings in this small. I couldn't call this a pond. It's kind of a marsh, probably. With quite hard soil, and we used when it went around with water, and we used to walk barefoot with my cousins. We used to go barefoot there, and once I even cut my toe there, and because there was some broken glass there. And yes, that was quite an experience. I still remember that as well, and I still have this scar on my toe, kind of memory. It's no longer there. It's no longer getting wet in wet seasons. I don't know why, and maybe because of the general change of the level of water in our region. Maybe yes. And this is one more picture, and this is the picture of the road, which now is absolutely completely overgrown with grass. But it used to be a big country road, sandy country road, moving here and there, up and down, up and down. In fact, you cannot see that, but there are a lot of hillsides and sloping hills, so the road goes like this all the time. It's quite a very hilly place, because there are a lot of lakes with that beautiful wells of beautiful blue sky in the water. And I remember it quite well. And this is the village. This is the village itself from the side of the lake, and this is the road to the lake, which took me to my childhood lake, where I, with all the children from the village, we bathed and sunbathed, just enjoyed ourselves, built something like crafts of grass and stuff. And I'm going to put it here in order just to show the changes, how it's growing. It's overgrowing. Nobody uses it anymore. Nobody, almost nobody. And that sounds really bad, you know. And all the fields here used to be all the time seeded with, and they were plowed, and they grew a lot of, well, there used to be a big Soviet farms there, and like kolkhoz, commune farms, probably. I can hardly find a word for that, Soviet, former USSR institution. So they plowed the fields around, everything was, you know, cultivated, and now it's just overgrowing. And that's it. No trees, no woods. Everything was scraped off, stripped. The land was stripped, and you can only see some trees here and there. And this is the forest. Yes, the forest. You can see it here. It's far, far, far from away, and that the forest that I was talking about in this picture. And our house is just behind. Probably no. Probably here it is. Yes, here is our house. Yeah, and here is our neighbor's house. This house and this house and this one are already empty. Nobody lives there. And but as it's really, really far from the place I live, and it doesn't have a good road, and we do have a very bad car, very kind of old one. And in winter it's absolutely impossible to get there, because the roads are not quite often cleaned, and so we are not even regarding the possibility to buy a house there, let alone that my husband doesn't want it at all. Okay. And so what I'm gonna do, I will probably just insert it here in order for me to be able just to put it out. Here I will probably put some more picture. Okay, let me see. Does it make sense or not? No, it doesn't. Only if it goes like that, but then I will lose this texture and beauty. So probably the two will come separately, and I will complete this one, another picture. So that's about all. This is my story behind the picture. Maybe it might be quite interesting, but to my mind, for me, it's more of a story that I need to keep my memories alive, and I need to understand better who I am, where I'm going, and what I really want, and why I want that, and whether I really want that or not. In fact, yes. So thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed a little bit of my story, because it's a story of my country, in fact, of my period of life. Former USSR, I was born in 1976, so I still remember those days, because I spent them partially here, partially in big cities like Moscow and some other, and you know, this is the best part of my memories. in fact. When I recollect my country life, I just remember the sun, I remember the joy, I remember a lot of nature around me, playing games with myself and with my cousins, scarce cousins I would say. But even then I tended to be alone rather than being with someone, yes. And I was absolutely happy about that. I didn't need so much of a company. Oh well, I think it's time to stop, because the memories are endless and they are beginning to come up one by one, to emerge from the dark. That's cool. And I'm very grateful to this project for all the memories that are coming back to my mind, and for all the ideas that the vibes of these places are giving me. So thank you. Thank you for watching and inspiring me to start a project like that. And thank you to this beautiful nature and places for giving me something that I have now, and I can share it with you. So have a great life. Take care and bye-bye.